All right, YouTube, tank number 2. There's tank number 1. The right tank. That is the left tank. This is the right tank over here. Now, this goes for all things in life. In all things in life. And let me tell you where I'm at with this. There's a couple things that you guys will hear me say, man, that thing looks beautiful, doesn't it? So crystal, it's so shiny. I wish my whole plane was like that, but no. Oh, by the way, I got my paint scheme back. I'll have to share that with you guys. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about learning as we go. You guys have heard me say on numerous occasions that if things aren't lining up, something is wrong. Vans builds an incredible product. It's amazing. And when you get your RV10, and if you're not getting an RV10, you're just gonna have to trust me on this. When Vans builds these and gives you the parts, if something is not lining up, stop. You are definitely doing something wrong. So if you guys remember when I did this guy, I used the foam, which was great. I mean, obviously it works, right? You guys can see it, it's there. But I knew that I needed to shave or cut this bracket down. It gives me more room. See how much now there's more play in there? The piece actually moves. And to be honest with you, if I don't want it to move, I can put a piece of foam in there to take up the gap. But it moves. It's perfect. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. What do I know, right? It's not like I build these all the time. So I did that. So then I put the rib back in, or put the tank skin back in. Yes, I know, I still gotta deburr. So I put the tank skin back in, and things weren't lining up. And I was like, what the heck? You know, these ribs. So if you guys remember yesterday, I did all of these ribs on one side, and then I just thought I was gonna come back and fold, have Danny help me, and everything, but he was busy and stuff, so I had to figure out how to do it myself. So what I did is I came in and I just removed one rib at a time, so completely de-clecoed a rib. And then what I did is I proceeded to put the very bottom cleco in on this side, and then I went over to this side, the other side, and I put the very bottom cleco in there. And then I alternated, right? I did like 2 clecos up and then 2 clecos over there. I will tell you, as you can see, it's together, but more importantly, everything came together and I was able to cleco the whole part up in the same amount of time that it took me to cleco one side up yesterday. I kid you not. So you gotta learn, right? We learn. So when you get to this part, and also on the outward skins, leading edge skins, if you're having problems getting the holes to line up, stop. Think about what you're doing. I recommend do the bottom ones first, get those in alignment, and then zip it up from there going up. You know, like alternate every 2. 2 here, go over there, do 2. 2 here, go over there, do 2. 2 here, go back and forth. And you'll find that everything came together. Like I said, I was able to cleco up the whole skin, thinking that it was going to take a much longer. But believe it or not, I was able to cleco, like I said, the whole skin, both sides, in the same amount of time that it took me to do one side on that guy. And I can tell you, at the end of the day, I wasn't able to get the other side done because nothing was lining up. So it's amazing. It's not a get a bigger hammer kind of project, right? Don't get a bigger hammer. If things aren't lining up, stop what you're doing, think about it, and then rework it, right? And I'll just tell you, that's what worked for me. Like I said, I was able to alternate. I started from the middle, worked my way out. Now, when you build this tank, Vans recommends that you start at one side and work all the way to the other side, not from the middle out. And that just has everything to do with being able to get inside. You gotta remember there's gonna be a lot of goop in here that's gonna seal up all these joints, and it's gonna be a mess. And it's just, Van says it's easier to start on one side and work to one side. It just gives you more room to work. And then, like I said, by the time you get to the edge here, you have all the room in the world because it's the outside edge. So, yep, just wanted to share that with you. But yeah, so I've got to, I still got to drill this center rib, or not rib, but spar stiffener. It's called center stiffener. I also have, I cannot forget that I have to drill these stiffeners down here, and then I got to cut them back. So these stiffeners here actually get drilled. There's another hole here. Got to drill that, and then I got to cut these back. What this is the back of the tank. This is the leading edge. Down here is the leading edge. This is the back of the tank. So what they do is they want you to cut here to build a channel that gives that fuel. And you know, you hope it's all fuel, but sometimes you get water, and water is heavier than fuel. Fuel will float on top of it, but they want that water not to get caught up in these ribs here. So you cut these back, and that gives it a clear path. So I still got to do that. But yeah, so we're progressing pretty good today. So I will get that done, get this drilled, get it done, and then yeah, then we'll start taking things apart and dimpling. Well, first we're going to label everything because I like the order. Everything went together real well, so I'm going to label all the parts in their order. Got to take off all the stickers. You don't want that in your fuel. And then yeah, we'll proceed to take everything apart and dimple, and then we start building up fuel tanks. All right, YouTube, there we go. So we got the fuel cap in. Fuel cap, a lot of discussion about the fuel cap, locking fuel caps, don't locking fuel caps. Look, I fly a Cessna 172. They don't have locking fuel caps, so I'm just gonna stay with what's there, right? It's gonna get painted anyways. Not worried about someone stealing my fuel. Maybe I should be. Hasn't happened to me yet, so I'm not to be honest with you, just not concerned about it. So yep, so I got the fuel cap in, got the bung in for the strainer. Like I said, there's a piece that goes on here, and that's what we test our fuel with to make sure there's no water in our fuel tanks and stuff. This is the lower part. You got to remember, this is the inside, this is the leading edge here. So this is the wing. The wing is, you know, the forward direction of the wings here. This is the back direction. This actually hooks into the spar. So this is the lowest because of the way it's tilted. The wing is tilted. This is the lowest point in the wing once it gets mounted up. So that's where everything will flow. So I got all the holes drilled. I got these holes drilled. Now what I got to do is cut this back 1/4 inch from this hole is what the instructions say. That will create that channel. No big deal. But yeah, we got everything in. Got the stiffener in. Got that done. And yeah, so now tomorrow, or when we get in here, God willing, we get to take everything apart. Everything apart. And dimple it. One thing about the fuel cap, they didn't countersink. When I say they, Vans didn't countersink the hole, so I'm gonna have to countersink those because it's gonna get dimpled. In the video that Vans puts out, they say that it's countersunk. Well, guess what? It is not. They have lied to us. And then of course I've got to deburr the edges and everything. But yeah, we got both tanks mocked up. I am glad I ran into the problems that I did. This is why I mock up all my parts, is because I was able to work out a better way of, I'm gonna sit down here. I got this high stool. I'm trying to fall on my butt. So yeah, I'll go over here and sit and talk to you guys. So I found a better way. I thought I had the best way, and then come to find out it was not. So putting it in the jig, absolutely the best way to go Just make sure you alternate, start at the bottom and alternate each side. When we go to Pro Seal this, there's, I think 10 grams is what someone said will take each rib. I'm gonna probably just mix up one batch at a time. They say about 2 the Pro Seal will start to kick. So I'm gonna do 5 grams at a time, 5 grams Pro Seal, do 1 rib at a time. Denny and I will proceed to start, like I'll start on my side, he'll start on his side, and then we'll work our way up. That's how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, well, that's what I think. So that might change too, but I think that's the best game plan and everything. So, but yeah, so we got to take everything apart, get everything dimpled. Before we dimple, we have to scarf up so that the Pro Seal adheres real well. So we got to scarf up all the mating edges. So we'll do that with a die grinder and the red Scotch-Brite pads to get all those surfaces nice and scarfed. It's like painting. You got to, if you put those micro scratches into the thing, it doubles the surface area in which the adhesive, and the Pro Seal is an adhesive sealant. It gives it the adhesive more surface area to attach to. So that's a very critical step. So we're going to do that before we dimple, because once you dimple, it's hard because of the way the contour, the way the metal is. It's hard to get that scarfed up correctly, number one. Number two, because you've created a ripple there, that dimple is going to catch everything on the Scotch-Brite pad, and thus you're going to put dirt into the piece. So, yep. So we're going to scratch all the surface up, the interior surface of where all the mating surfaces are, and then we will proceed to dimple, and hopefully we'll get that done this weekend. So that's about it. That's all I had for you guys. Have a great weekend. Spend some time with your family members, and like always, may God bless you and keep you safe.